For more on this, let's bring in CNN legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Shan with us here. So, Shan, thanks for being with us.
Sure.
So the report, as you heard Laura detail, is going to really take issue with a couple of moments when we're talking specifically about Jim Comey. The first one has to do with what he said in July 2016. It was sort of, at the time, it seemed like the cap on the Clinton email investigation. She had used a private email as Secretary of State, a private server that was housed in the basement of her home. And this was the sort of unusual statement that he made. Let's refresh our memories.
Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
He took this unusual step of publicly saying that, right? That was very odd for people who know how this normally goes down. Then there was the decision that he made just days before the election to alert members of Congress, which, let's be honest, is basically going public with something,
Right.
that there were more emails found on Anthony Weiner's computer that were Hillary Clinton emails that could be of concern, that many Democrats say, oh, God, that's what cost her the election. Debatable, but that's what they say. How significant is this?
Well, I think when you take a look at Comey's statement there, it's fascinating. He says no reasonable prosecutor. He's not a prosecutor there. He's the head of the FBI. And that really highlights what an unusual situation that was for him to be delivering that news at that time without going through DOJ, without going through the Attorney General Lynch at that time.
And it doesn't surprise you that this is something that the Inspector General, the independent Inspector General, is taking issue with?
No, and that's a very long tradition. When I was a justice, we're very cognizant of that issue, not saying anything about investigation that could interfere if it's too close to an election. So I think that Horowitz is going to take a very close look at that and will be quite critical.
And he should have known this, Comey? I mean, that's basically what the IG is going to say. Hello,
Yeah.
You should have known this. You did know this. You were made aware.
Absolutely. I mean, Comey, in many public statements, talks about how he wrestled with that issue. He clearly was the loser of that wrestling match.
Yeah. And Loretta Lynch, so she was the Attorney General at the time.
Right.
And during the election, Bill Clinton on the tarmac in Arizona goes up into her plane. They have a chat for a considerable period of time, considering the former president's wife was being looked at for her email practices. She, along with Andrew McCabe, then the number 2 at the department, he's going to be criticized for lag time, right? There was an awareness that these emails were on Anthony Weiner's laptop in September, and then they didn't get the warrant till late October. So these two are also going to be criticized, we understand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for former AG Lynch, a big concern is kind of a failure of leadership. I get the fact that she had been sort of burned by the tarmac conversation, but she sort of doubled down on that by failing to clearly give instructions to Comey at that time. And with regard to McCabe, the big question is going to be that timing. I mean, that's a great October surprise, and the question is going to be what intent was really going on there.
Could it have been just a September surprise? Who knows? Would it have had the same impact? These are all questions we may never know the answers to. Shan, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it.